Action. Ya, Andi mulai atau
Gede.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to talk a very interesting topic with our special guest. Please welcome.
Geng celeng. My name's Andy from Canada. I'm a student at Hiiiaattttt in the S2 program, researching Bondres, and we thought we'd talk today about some funny things for people who speak English, learning Bahasa Bali. Yeah?
Right, yeah. So we're going to discuss and give you examples, some words in Bahasa Bali which has a really interesting meaning. Andy, what is the first word?
Yang pertama, the first word is kangwang.
Kangwang,
Kangwang,
okay.
itu kayak wasajane ke rumah orang, dia punya rumah mewah, dia punya beguling, yo sujak beguling orang kangwang sing ada be.
Okay.
Kene kangwang sing ada be nebe.
Kan ada kangwang. Kangwang ngejot beceleng. Kangwang. Mungkin kangwang ini sebuah beceleng.
Bengong tiang. The first time I heard that, I was just so confused.
Interesting. This is really interesting for me. Me as a Balinese, as a native speaker, I couldn't also explain what is the phenomenon happening here. Andy, according to you, what do you think is happening here?
Well, I think there's a few things happening. Like we said before, there's the idea of they're trying to kind of, what was it? Renda. Because people in Bali, they have the term tula.
Tula, okay.
Yeah, and it's, you can't stand out from anyone else, or you can't, you can't sit above other people. So maybe they're trying to make themselves kind of on an even playing field, an even keel with everybody else.
Okay.
Or maybe sometimes they're just sombong.
Well, in some cases, we can use that for making jokes or to make fun of our
absolutely. We use it all the time for joking, right? And I'll show up with my, I can be sombong and I'll show up with my motorcycle.
Yeah.
I'll ride my NMAX, yeah.
And then, what will you say?
Kangwang naik mobil roda dua.
Mobil roda dua. Kangwang.
Kangwang sing ada
If
apa?
we literally translate kangwang words, what would be in English?
I don't know.
I don't know. Guys, if you know what is the translation literally for the kangwang, please comment down below.
I think it's something, kangwang is something that you need to feel. Right, kangwang is more like a feeling. It's a how would you say it? Yeah, an affect, right? It's something that you feel when you know the right time to use it.
Okay, yeah.
Right, so you'll say, another example. I'll go to I was very confused when I first came to Bali. I was so confused.
Okay.
I go to my friend's house and he has a beautiful home. It's like going to a hotel, and I stay in a kos-kosan, right?
Yeah.
So I go to his house and it's like going to a hotel. I'm like, oh my god, what a nice house. He goes, main singa ke pondok.
Pondok, okay. But in fact, what did you say?
But I know that a pondok is a bamboo house.
Bamboo house. But in fact, what did you say?
A hotel.
Wow! It's really hard to understand why Balinese has a unique way of communication and word choices.
Yeah, and I thought at first, I was like, is this person being arrogant? Right? Like, what's and kan maksud lemone. Mungkin apa je lemone. Tapi ini setelah belajar, saya tahu, ini ada istilah tula.
Yeah.
And it's the same as maybe someone is a very wealthy businessman, but there might be a priest that is across from him sitting.
Yeah.
And the priest might not have anything, but he's still a priest. And that person being Balinese, dia orang pengusaha, orang sugih, berdari nak sugih, tapi sing dari tulah, sing Bali. He isn't able to get himself to sit above the priest, even though he's a boss. He has all of this land and wealth and all of these material possessions that might, in other places, make someone feel more important than someone else.
Yeah.
But maybe it comes down to modal simbolis. Hal-hal seperti yang jadi pedanda atau yang jadi pemangku, dia punya modal simbolis daripada modal uang.
So it means tulah is a magic word.
Yeah.
Tulah nani.
Oh.
Even for touching our head.
That's right, yeah.
What about in your country? I mean, in your culture, is it okay to touch someone's head?
It is for, like, you say, for a kid, you go up and you pat them on the head, or someone does something good. Yeah, someone's being good, you touch them on the head. Yeah, but here you do that, and that's very unless you're joking with your friends, right? And then you can do that, right? But like if you're doing that here and you're just like going up to someone you've never met, say we've never met before, and I just walk up and I just touch your head, it means like jamak dasi.
Bagus. Okay. Wow. So we discussed one word about more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes. It's quite long discussion.
Oh yeah, it's these are all ideas of sociolinguistics.
I see.
Right? Like these are all elements of sociolinguistics are the language used in certain social situations, right? In certain social situations and by certain groups of people. Right? So in terms of Bali, when we talk about Bali, we talk about the word kangwang. It's something specific to the people of Bali. For foreigners, when they just learn Balinese language, like baru-baru saja belajar, dan ada orang bilang kangwang, sing ada apa, ternyata semua ada.
They have everything.
For a foreigner, they might think that's arrogant.
Oh,
because they don't know. They don't know about the culture yet. They're just learning about the words, right? So it's very difficult when you look at sociolinguistics in this light. We have people that are saying, I don't have any. They say, how do you say kangwang? Kangwang singara apa? It's like, I'm sorry, I don't have anything, but I have everything, right? It is the idea of, to a foreigner, when they see that, that's like someone, lying to my face, right? Like that's like someone, you think I'm stupid, right? Are you being, like I see that you have everything, right? But you say you don't have anything. But after I learned culture for a long time, I found out that no, it has to do, it's all linked in with that idea of tula, right? This idea of, what is it, the three positions? You have the bottom, the middle, and the top.
Yeah, right.
Right? And you can't just bypass another person because Balinese culture is a very communal society. Yeah. And people want to work together and be part of the same society.
All right.
Yeah.
So according to you, which one should you learn first? You learn the language first or the culture? Which one do you think is the first?
I think you learn both at the same time.
Both at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to learn some things. Sometimes you'll learn something about the culture, and if you've been learning the language, you can ask what it is. And then sometimes you're learning something about the language, and then if you learn the culture, you can ask what it is. Yeah. So language is just one element of culture. Okay. There are 7 elements of culture. We have language, we have religion, we have arts, we have mata pencaharian. We have the system of knowledge, the system of masyarakat, and then tools, right? So we have all these different elements of culture, that we look at, and like, did I forget any? I think it's 7. Yeah, it's 7 elements of culture. So language is just one element of it. So like, I can look at, for example, I go to the temple and I see apa namanya itu sarad barong, yeah. I see that the sarad barong, and there's you can see so many, all 7 of the elements of culture just in that one thing. It's a barong made from food, right? And I like food, so so I'm very interested in it, right? And I have to ask all these questions because it was the first time I'd seen it, and I find out that it's made from palegantung, palebungka.
Wow, you know a lot about it.
And so these things are all a symbol of the prosperity of the people, which is like the mata pencaharian, right? They have the religious system itself, which is clear because it's in the temple. It's considered sacred. There's arts because we have this sarad barong, and it's someone's art making a barong out of food, right? Right. And then we have language involved in that, learning about the palagantung, the palabunka, right? Yeah. You can go through all 7 elements of culture, and you're going to find that language is just one of the parts, but it's very important for learning about the rest. Yeah.
So according to you, you're talking just now. You talk about business culture has the 7 elements.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is the hardest part to be learned?
The hardest part.
You say you have the art, mata pencarian, and also the language. Which one do you think, according to you?
The most difficult, I think they're all difficult because they all have their own unique elements to them.
Okay.
Right? Like they all have their own unique aspects. And so I wouldn't say one's more difficult than the other, but I think there are some that people learn first, right? The first ones people will learn is arts. Right? Especially coming to Bali.
Yeah.
Many people come to Bali to learn about the arts. They come to learn about dance, gamelan, right? And they come to learn about the arts. Some people come to learn about painting, and some people come to learn carving, right? So the arts are very much a gateway, right, into all of these other elements. And then some people come here and they're not interested in the arts at all, but they learn language, right? Like, and some people have been, and then there's others. They've been here. There are foreigners, but they've been here since they were very young kids. They've been here since they were very small and have learned the language. And have learned the language because they've been around it so long. They've learned it like it's their own native language, like they're speaking their own mother tongue. But they haven't gotten interested in other elements of the culture too. It happens, right? So there's other elements like maybe they become interested in the language, they become interested in religion, but they never became interested in the arts.
Okay.
You know, so there's it's not about which is more difficult. It's more about the person and what they're interested in.
It's a matter of a preference.
A matter of preference, yeah. Like for me, because I'm a researcher, I'm always looking at all of them.
Wow.
Right? Like I'm always thinking about all of them, which is what makes me sometimes very confused. Right? Because someone that has been here since they were very young and learned the language since they were a little kid, maybe they just hear someone say Kangwang and they go, yeah, Kangwang. Whereas for me, I hear someone say Kangwang and I go, what does this mean? Right?
So you get curious about the words Kangwang.
Absolutely.
Alright, so besides Kangwang, what are the words that you learned from here?
Well, we have Nengel.
Nengel! Oh, what is this?
That's another difficult one, right?
Nengel. Okay, could you please give example to us how to use Nengel?
That's a good way of thinking of it. Is words like Nengel. Is how do you use it, right? Because this is another reason why actually Balinese language is much more highly evolved than English language.
Wow, really?
It's much more highly evolved. Balinese language is way more advanced and efficient in terms of its vocabulary than English. Look at this for example.
Okay.
So, say I have this here. I'm holding this box here, right? And the lid is right here, and it's about to fall off, right? In English, I'd say, oh, the lid is about to fall off, and the lid falls off, right? But in Balinese, what would you say if this was happening?
What would you say?
Yeah, what would you say?
Nengel.
Nengel? Okay, thank you. Yeah. And I already know that the lid's not going to fall now.
Okay,
so we use one word.
One word express that the long sentence in English.
Exactly. So something
wow,
the whole sentence.
It's so effective.
Yeah, it's a very effective language and it's very highly evolved. A lot of people don't realize that. Now, Bahasa Indonesia is more difficult because Bahasa Indonesia is a lot younger as a language, right? Like it was 1938, I believe. If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, if I'm wrong. But I believe it was 1938 was when Bahasa Indonesia was proposed to be the national language in Congress in Jakarta at the time. This was before the kemerdekaan in 1945. But looking in retrospect, Bahasa Indonesia is a very young language, and it's a synthesized language, which means it's a conglomerate of many different languages. Yeah. Whereas a language like Bahasa Bali is a very old language, dating back to old Bahasa Kawi and Sanskerta, right? So we have elements of Sanskrit. We have elements of Bahasa Kawi and Bahasa Bali. And then, even more than that, we have, within Bahasa Bali, we have the Sorsinge. Right?
Language stratification.
Yeah. And everything is organized within these boundaries. So we see once again, sociolinguistics at play. Everyone in Bali is always very aware of the social situation.
Yeah.
That's why they say desa kalapatra.
Oh, wow.
You know your place, your time, and your situation.
Yeah.
Because if I'm with a friend, and say my friend is a Pemangku, and we're just hanging out, and maybe we're just hanging out, maybe he's a Mangku Gaul, yeah? Yeah, we're hanging out, maybe we're having a drink, yeah, we're drinking something, and I can speak to him like we're speaking normally, right? But if we're in the temple, and it's different. I can't speak to him the way I would speak to him if we were drinking.
Example.
Well, if I was hanging out with my friend who is a Mangku, that he likes to have a drink, right? Minumko.
Now imagine now you are in the temple. What would you say?
Swastiastu Mangku. Nunasto Yodamun.
Okay. Interesting.
You know, so I would ask him to have a drink of water instead of, like...
What?
Yeah, or if we were drinking tuak, maybe we are in the temple, because it does happen in the temple. Sometimes people drink tuak, right? It does happen, and like, if we were in the temple, I wouldn't call it lao, I'd call it sajang. Bukan sajang, yeah, I'd call it sajang. Ngiring sajangan, yeah.
Oh.
And if we were just hanging out outside of the temple and say, ayo, lao, yo. Yeah. But if we were in the temple, we'd say, ngiring sajangan.
Okay, lao, I think it's a new word here. I mean,
yeah,
it just come around 2015, 16. What do you think about lao? Where does it come from?
I don't know where lao comes from. Maybe from Laos? I don't know.
Laos? You've got a new research project now. Where does the lao come from? What lao?
Yeah.
But we already have tuak.
Yeah.
Why should we have lao?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, when you take the original from the Bahasa Bali alus, you would say masajangan, right, which is the verb for drink, and then sajang is a sweet drink.
Yeah.
Right? So like sajang might not just be tuak, right? Sajang is anything sweet.
Okay.
And so it could be tuak, it could be maybe bram, right? It could be many things. Yeah. But with lao, I don't know. I think that's just kind of slang.
Slang.
Yeah, slang that catches on, right? Yeah.
Now we have a slang in Balinese language.
Yeah.
Lao.
Lao. Yeah, and you'll be driving down the street, and it's funny. You'll see the place where they sell the benzin, right, in the bottles, but above the benzin they have written Lao.
Okay, Lao.
Yeah.
So do you know, or do you have you ever done any research about where do you think the lao coming from?
I haven't ever.
It's coming from Karangasem, Klungkung, or from where? It's originally from that.
I don't know. What do you think? I would guess somewhere like Karangasem, Klungkung, or
because, many people talk about Tuak Karangasem.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Tuak Karangasem is very famous. The Tuak Jaka,
right?
Tuak New.
Yeah. All right. What about the next words that we would like to say?
Let's talk about some ways that people combine words.
Combine words.
Yeah.
Interesting. How you combine the words?
So especially in Babondresan, which is what I study. I study comedy. Right? So
what is Babondresan?
Babondresan
know about it.
Balinese. Babondresan is Balinese comedy. Balinese like stand-up comedy, but it involves improvisation, spontanitas.
What makes different the comedy in a Western country and in Balinese?
That's a good question. So the way language is used.
Okay.
So the comedy in Bali really plays with linguistic conventions. Whereas in the West, comedy is is more focused on coming up with scenarios. Right, scenarios and jokes, right, and things like that. In Western comedy, you have what's called a premise, right, which is when you set up an idea for a joke. You'll say, "Oh, what's the deal with I don't know, the weather," right? And you'll say something talk about the weather and say some funny things about the weather, right? And then after that, you'll have punchlines that come in with that, right?
Yeah.
And then punchlines will be lines that cause people to laugh. Right? There are those parts where it makes people laugh. That's when you deliver what's called a punchline, which is jokes within the overall story, right?
Yeah, right.
And then at the end, they'll usually have what's called a bang, right?
Okay.
Which is the bang in Western comedy will happen when they they tie everything together, right? So it becomes that overarching theme. That's when it becomes the repetition gets used, right? So they repeat something from the beginning, or they use, but in a funny way, and it's called a bang. Kind of makes everyone at the end. That's when it's the final of the joke, right? The finale of the joke.
Yeah.
It's when everyone laughs. Whereas Balinese humor plays a lot more with language, and it's a lot of it is what's called one-liners, right? And one-liners are like in English the type of jokes where you'll say knock knock, who's there? You know, impatient cow, moo, right? You know, like those are called one-liners, right?
Okay.
Where it's just got a few back and forth deliveries of something, and they usually involve more than one person.
Okay.
Right? So you'll have to have, I say knock knock, and you say, yeah, who's there? Right? I say knock knock. Who's there? Yeah, and then I say impatient cow, and then you would say impatient cow who?
Impatient cow.
Moo, right? Yeah. And then so I would say that over top of you. These are more in the tradition of what was known as comedy in vaudeville, which was like a type of theater that was in the early 1900s, late 1800s. These types of theater like that, and Balinese comedy kind of takes these concepts of these one-liners and then combines them with conventions of Balinese linguistics. Example. So someone will ask me, like, someone will say, oh, sibuk apa waktu ini? Yeah? And then I'll say, sibuk saja. And I'll say, sibuk apa? I'll say, sirap jak bobok. Right?
Sirap jak bobok.
Yeah, sibuk, sirap jak bobok.
It has a different meaning. Sibuk means you are busy.
Yeah.
You're saying that sibuk is a abbreviation from
sirap
and bobo.
Sleeping and napping. Yeah.
Okay. Just sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep on and on.
Yeah. Which is funny too, because it's the opposite of sibuk.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there's many of them like that. I used one in a comedy skit one time that I enjoy. I still use it on stage. So if you see me play Bon Dress, you'll hear me use this one. Is yan dari nak moko amone, dari nak sulengge. Kok dari nak sulengge kalau ngam duwe jati ya. Kalau ngam duwe jati sing idang melibe genyot ya. Nak sulengge itu suka melengge.
Bagaimana gede
Oh, gede awak. Oh, gede saja awak nih. Suka melengge. Walaupun sulengge comes from the word su, which is good. Lengge means sit.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but it has a meaning.
It means someone like a pedanda, right? Or someone who is a holy person, right? But the way I use it is very different. I use suka, which is suka is difficult, difficult, and then melenge is Bahasa Bali halus for sit.
Okay.
So I have a difficult time sitting.
Yeah, wow.
Which talk about our bang, that comes back to the term tula, right? So now we're bringing it back to tula.
Yeah.
So if I'm on stage with people and someone's sitting down, and I walk out and I just start talking to them, and I don't sit down, I just stand up, right?
And then
they say, "Wait, kok aneh saja nih, Made sampun swearing Bali, ini kok bisa menjujuk gitu." And then I say, "Oh, ya karena tiang sampun dados melengge." And I use the sulengge, suka melengge. Yeah.
Terus ini. Wow, you learn a lot of Balinese culture, languages, Indonesia, and a lot of things.
I'm very lucky to have friends like you that are teaching me all the time and helping me so much.
Yeah, we're just sharing here. You share what you have in your country.
Sharing saja.
Yeah,
setelah sharing jangan serong.
Ya,
yang serong
apa Rene?
jadinya surung.
Surung.
Yang surung masih reka rarung.
Lalung. Agar sih melalung nada. Apa itu melalung?
Oh, cocok tadi Kongres ya. Good.
Please tell to the viewer what is melalung.
Melalung is naked.
No.
No.
Melalung you know?
No.
Melah dan lumung.
Oh, bagus. Oh, mam aja.
Melalung.
Kalah.
That is why. You know the babies come to his mom. Does he or she wearing clothes? Melalung kan? Makanya we call it melah dan lumung. Baby born, we call it the baby is melalung. Melah dan lumung.
Ada kalah.
1-0. Alright, Andy, this is very interesting discussion. So, guys, if you like this content, please like this content and then share. And also don't forget to comment and then subscribe. So his channel.
Yes, Andy 88 Bali, Andy 88 Bali.
Okay, and follow also his Instagram. It will be posted
Sama.
here. Okay, here my Instagram. Please like our content and I will see you on the next video.
Okay,
Thank you for
thank
watching.
you.
Bye.